So, what's up, everybody? This is not like a normal type of podcast. I don't even have a microphone on, so this is pretty crazy. But I want to talk today about depression. I feel like that's something that I need to talk about just because there's a lot of things going on in the world right now when it comes down to people losing jobs, um, debt, right? Increasing. I mean, if you're in tune with what's going on in the financial world, it's very, very scary. And not only that, but I think in 2020, when we're all forced to be in our homes, locked away, there was a lot of isolation that took place. And I think because of that, what I've seen is that there's been an increase of like addiction to drugs, porn, abuse, and suicide as well. So I know a lot of people go through different seasons. And, when it comes down to depression, I think a lot of people, and I want to be very sensitive when I talk about this. I don't want to just assume, right? But I really want to be sensitive about this topic because it is.
Hey, we motivating the nation, gonna set the foundation, spreading positive knowledge, the crucial conversation. All rise for the Will Rodriguez show. Let's go.
When it comes to depression, I don't know if everybody has gone through depression, or I don't know if people know exactly how that looks like. But it's probably different for everybody, right? For some people, maybe where they are they're wanting to be isolated, maybe they can let themselves go, maybe they could put up a smile in public, but in private, that's a different story. And a little bit about me and my story. When I was about, I'll say 18, 17 going on 18, I was very, very depressed. And just thinking back, what happened to me is I let myself go. I didn't really you know, I didn't really cut my hair. I was, gaining a bunch of weight. Didn't really have purpose. Didn't really have much to look forward to, right? And I was lifeless, no purpose, no hope. There's really no happiness, nothing that really got me going throughout the day. And if you're watching this, you're probably like, man, that feels like me, or probably it doesn't. But the way depression looks for you, it may be super, super, very different than how it looked for me when I was 18. But I still remembered one time I was driving. I had a girlfriend at the time. I dropped her off. I remember it was early morning and I was driving and I just pulled into a neighborhood, and I still remember I had a white car that with the broken window, and I pulled up to a neighborhood, and I just stopped, turned off the car, and I just leaned back and I started just thinking, like, why am I alive? What am I really doing here? And then thoughts of suicide came my way. And not that I was suicidal, but again, those thoughts come when you're at your lowest. Isn't that crazy that when you're at your lowest, different thoughts come, right? Thoughts of sadness, of, you know, bad memories, all kinds of garbage comes your way. But whenever you are in a very positive mood, right? When you are, very optimistic, whenever you're feeling really good, thoughts of like, man, I could conquer the world. Man, I feel like doing this. You know what? I'm going to pick up this new challenge. Like, you feel like you can do anything. So one thing is true is that the heart is deceitful. In this quick podcast today, I'm not going to make it long, but I just want to talk about this because it was in my heart. Again, I have no lights. My baby's right here. No microphone, no nothing. Audio is crap too. But I just want to speak from the heart today because I really believe that somebody out there needs to hear this. And one thing that I learned is that our feelings are very deceitful. Our feelings always tells us that when we're at our lowest, that there's no hope. There's really nothing to look forward to. When it comes down to those feelings, what do we do about those feelings when they come? So at the time for me, I was feeling very depressed, lonely, even though I was surrounded by, people, siblings and parents that love me, right? Still do, still love me. But you okay, Jayla? But at the time, there's really nothing that I was looking forward to. And I just felt like the whole world would be better without me. That's how I felt. Again, 18 years old, had already gone through a lot of garbage. Well, what I mean by that is, drugs, being sexually active, locked up. I mean, miscarriage with my ex lady. I mean, just so many things, right? And I just felt like, man, like this is not life. Life is pointless. And that feeling that I got was just so dark. But I didn't act on that feeling. And I think a lot of us tend to act on our feelings. And I'm guilty of that as well, right? I heard in a statistic that women struggle more with suicide or suicidal thoughts than men, but men have a higher percent of like committing suicide because they'll go through with it. But women struggle more with suicidal thoughts or depression. It's crazy because, in the word, I don't know if you guys read the Bible or not, but I do. And in Romans 12 it says, don't be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So how does that work when you're feeling low, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling those thoughts? For me, I know how I combat them. I first of all, I'm aware of those thoughts. Like those thoughts are coming in of suicide, of depression, and I'm like, you know what? Those feelings are very deceitful. When I do, and I'm not gonna say see them coming, but when I'm like they're analyzing my thoughts, I'm like, man, these thought is coming in of suicide, of depression, of feeling this, feeling that, and I'm here like, you know what? Help me, God, renew my mind, renew my strength, and then I ask God to help me take care of those thoughts. The second thing that I do is I get up and move. I get up and move around. Maybe I had to play a song that I jam to. Maybe that's a worship song. Maybe that's an upbeat song that I'm just like gonna feel a little different. Maybe I gotta go work out. Maybe I'm not hydrated enough. Maybe um I'm not grateful enough. I'm not counting my wins. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Jesus was always celebrating, right? There was a man that was in a fig tree. I think it was fig tree. Don't quote me on that. And then he's like, "What are you doing up there? Today we're gonna feast in your house, right?" So he's always celebrating with people. And if you don't have any of those people, let's celebrate together, all right? But Jesus was always celebrating. And that's where I go back to now. It's like, man, like, I'm not feeling a certain way. You know what? We need to celebrate. For me, what I do with my family, what I try to do every week, even though I'm trying to lose weight right now, but I will get some ice cream. I mean, it's like $4 to get like a big tub. And as we're having ice cream, I ask everybody in my family, why are we celebrating? Why are we celebrating today? Then my daughter would be like, well, because we're having ice cream, right? It's like, oh, okay. Then my wife is like, I'm thankful for you. Awesome. And then for me, when it's my turn, I'm forced to say something. And before I say something, I really want to analyze what I say because I don't want to say something like, Very generic, like, oh yeah, I'm thankful for today, right? But try to analyze like what's taking place. And so I'm like, I'm thankful that, we have a house. It could be worse. We could be homeless right now. We have a house. Or we made it through the week. I mean, it was a hard week, but I'm thankful now that I'm gathered with you guys celebrating this thing called life, right? And it's hard to snap out of that. Super hard to snap out of it, especially when you're isolated. Another verse that comes to mind is Proverbs 18. It says, he who isolates himself seeks his own desire and goes against all sound judgment. So whenever you're isolated, we tend to do that because we want to, be stuck in our own pity party, essentially. We want to just tune out the world, tune out everything. And that's okay to tune out certain things, but not everybody, right? For me, when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling like there's certain thoughts that are coming my way, I analyze my thoughts, I pray, I move around, I worship God, I celebrate, and then I bring other people along with me, right? Because it's super hard because we all go through different seasons. And what you're dealing with, maybe that's losing a job, maybe that's losing somebody, maybe that's breaking up with a girlfriend, going through divorce, all kinds of stuff. We all go through so much stuff. Death, debts, hardships, financial hardships, all kinds of stuff. Missing family. I'm in Texas. I'm in San Diego. All kinds of stuff. But we cannot allow feelings to dictate anything. Or when we can't allow our feelings to dictate our future. At 18 years old, when I was struggling with depression, my hair was falling off. I'm thinking right now, but that's a different story, all right, guys. Going through depression, losing hair, I was stressed out. I was I let myself go and thinking, man, maybe I should. Maybe I should, and I don't want to say this word because just saying it just doesn't sound right. Maybe I should commit suicide. Maybe I should, right? Just drive in Interstate 5, that's like a highway, a freeway in San Diego. Well, she just drive super fast and crash into like a wall, crash into somebody, right? Who cares? But now looking back, I was 18, even though I had grew up very, very fast, I didn't know much about life. I thought I did. I mean, I had gone through so much. But now, fast forward, I'm 33. We live in a beautiful house. We have 3 kids. Been married now for 10 years. Let me tell you something. There's always different struggles. Not only with myself, like situations that I go through, whether that's business, whether that's like relationships, tornadoes, hurricanes, weather, all kinds of stuff. We're always going to be dealing with different stuff. And if we're not, somebody else is dealing with something. So did we just go through so much just to, be in isolation and feel bad about ourselves? No. I really believe that we go through things to help other people. And also for God to sharpen us, equip us, develop our character. And that's pretty much where I am right now. There's a lot of things that are wrong right now in our life. A lot of things. But man, one thing I say to myself, could be way worse. Way worse. Right? But could also be way, way better right now too. Right? But what can I control right now? I control my attitude. I control my love towards others, me seeking God. I control so many different things. I'm not sure where you guys are at, but what I would say is seek the Lord. Don't be isolated, right? And be thankful. If you guys got value from this quick podcast that is like super raw, no lights, no microphone, whatever, hit a like, subscribe, share with somebody that may be battling some stuff because we all do. And just because you're dealing with something doesn't mean that there's not a way out. Trust me, there's more of us that have gone through maybe something similar, maybe something way worse. Again, subscribe, like, share with somebody that could benefit from this quick podcast. Take care, guys. God bless.
That Rodriguez show, yeah, that Rodriguez show, yeah.